the forge, the embers glow. Emphyr searches high and low for the steel that sings like a blade of fire. He'll face the dark and never tire. The cost, the weight he bears through endless nights and battle stares. Each strike of the hammer, each swing of the blade. The journey is long, but he's unafraid. Through the ash and smoke, the flames grow higher. He won't back down and forge his desire. Steel in his heart and fire in his eyes. He'll rise above, he'll touch the sky. Steel in the fire, forged in the night. A hero's path, a warrior's fight. He'll seek the power in the iron's call. Through the flames he'll conquer all. For every battle, for every test, he'll find the strength, he'll give his best. With the heat of the forge and the clash of steel, he'll shape his fate, he'll make it real. Echoes of war, the cries in the air. He's forged in the struggle, he's learned to dare. In the shadows of mountains, the caverns deep, he hunts for the ore that never sleeps. The stars above and the earth below guide him onward as the embers glow. With every blow, with every flame, he carves his legend and earns his name. Through the ash and smoke, the flames grow higher. He won't back down and forge his desire. Steel in his heart and fire in his eyes. He'll rise above, he'll touch the sky. Steel in the fire, forged in the night. A hero's path, a warrior's fight. He'll seek the power in the iron's call. Through the flames he'll call.
Hello, welcome to another exciting episode of Pax Dei, The Search for Steel, starring Emphyr, and of course me. So we'll do some housekeeping, as always. So let's try. Of course, welcome. All right, excuse me. So we are at night again, and it's crazy. Sure, why not? Let us see who's around. See if no, nobody's around that I can watch chat. And we'll go downstairs. So, how's everyone doing? Hopefully everybody had a good day. Holiday week coming up here in the United States, and I will be streaming every night. Mostly because I have a lot to say, which some people might allude that I'm just talking to talk, and that is true. I love talking. All right. We're not going to build the house. Well, we might build the house a little later. Right now, we're going to repair this shield, since I don't think I did yesterday. We will grab some repairs across the board. That was interesting. My spear did not repair. Why? Oh, because of durability. That's alright. Should have plenty of spears somewhere. There we go. That's what I was looking for. Okay. Let me grab some more food, and then we might be doing some exploring while we talk. Let's see. I ate a little later tonight than I wanted to, so I'm feeling a little guilty. It's alright though. As in everything. If you've already eaten, don't feel guilty about it. You can't really exactly take it away. The fact that you ate. Alright. We should be good to go. I don't even know which direction I want to go. There's this area here. What does B mean? I keep forgetting. Just Imperium ruins. Excuse me. I'm gonna have to take a sip of stevia well before I normally do. Yeah, let's go up this road and we'll go down that. Yeah, let's go see what those ruins look like. Ah, look. Completed a little bit more of his house. Pretty impressive. Very cool. He complimented me on my house, so it's not where I want to be, though. I think I'm going this way. Could be a road that I can take up here. Doesn't look like... Yeah, it looks... Yeah, we're fine. We're fine. Well, thanks for joining. What else do we... Well, we talked about a lot last night, and I think one of the things that I wanted to talk about today was about empathy and sympathy. Why are they so important to understand? Well, we have to know when to use them to be good leaders. So keep that in mind as you dive through these. Let's see where I am. All right, so that goes to the bridge. So I think I want to go down. Yep. Okay. So we often hear about them, but seldom do we try to unpack them. A lot of people use them interchangeably, and I have to say, let's not do that. But there are times when we can use them. They play a significant role in shaping society as well, right? Relationships, leadership. But what do we understand about them? If I would challenge somebody to define for me empathy and sympathy and their roles in society, would you be able to do it? I think most of us would, but we really don't think about it at any great length or in any in depth. So let's dive into it. Is that the ruins? Whoa. I'm impressed. Let's see if I don't get attacked anywhere. Hopefully there's no lag tonight. Okay, let's talk about definitions. All right, the definition of sympathy. We'll start with that one. Sympathy is feeling pity or sorrow for someone else's misfortune. It involves acknowledging somebody's situation, but maintaining a degree of emotional distance. You probably already have figured out where this is going, right? The key phrase to remember or be mindful of is I feel for you. One of the example sayings that I did research on is, I'm sorry you're going through this, when somebody shares a difficult experience, right? And then empathy is the ability to understand and share someone else's feelings. It requires putting yourself in their shoes and feeling what they feel. I feel with you. Truly imagining and sharing the emotional experience of somebody struggling, saying, I understand how overwhelming this must feel. Oh, wow. What are those things? The Whispering Soul. It says it's 16. Why don't I believe that? That's pretty awesome, though. Holy mackerel. Run. They did 100 to me. And they poisoned. That was not good. Alright, so reminder, do not go to this island until I get some really big hit point enhancers. Oh, that was horrible. That was not good at all. I loved it, though. That is a really good area, and I live right next to it. No wonder I've been hearing that. I've been hearing some stuff like that. Now I know. Never go there again. Not never. Just wait until I actually... Do you feel sympathy or empathy for me? Because that was horrible. The Whispering Souls said they were 16. I don't believe them. Not for 1 minute. Alright, anyway. So the core differences, right, of sympathy and empathy. Sympathy acknowledges the pain from the outside, while empathy enters into the emotional experience. Sympathy can sometimes unintentionally create distance, while empathy fosters connection. Man, I do not agree with that. How many people don't agree with that? Because I don't agree with that. Not at all. Meaning, while empathy fosters connection, just because I'm empathetic to your cause, should it mean that I am automatically fostering a connection? I'm not so sure that's a... I'm not so sure that's true. It doesn't mean I'm connecting with you. It means that I understand your pain, I feel your pain, I understand where that feeling is coming from. It doesn't mean I like you or have a connection with you. Maybe. I guess so. To a point. I don't want to be too nitpicky, but I suppose in a way it does, right? I got him on 320s. I got went 3 there. Man, I could have went 4 there. Alright, maybe... Man. I let him attack. There we go. That was not the best fight. Okay. So, let's look at both of these as they affect society, right? As a whole, sympathy has long been used as charitable efforts, inspiring people to help others in need. But sympathy alone can sometimes lead to pity without action. Empathy, on the other hand, encourages deeper understanding and drives meaningful connection. It's the foundation for initiatives that truly address systematic issues because it pushes us to see the world through others' eyes. Interesting. Now, in a way, I'm not sure sympathy should be used in leadership at all. Alright. You gotta be kidding me. There we go. Nope. I thought that was the time I could get 4 off. But I can't. That's alright. It worked out. So, sympathy and leadership. I took some notes, but I shouldn't have to look at these because there's a couple different aspects to this. Wow, that was weird. Oh, I missed on my one? You know what? Wow, I missed a couple times in that one. That was rough. Alright, anyway. So, pros in leadership, right? Sympathy. Demonstrates care and compassion, acknowledges challenges the employees face. 100%. Let's see if I can retrieve these though. Finally. Alright, so the cons may create emotional distance or reinforce hierarchy or rules, risks becoming patronizing if overused. Alright, yeah, I can see that. I could see that. Let's talk after this next one. Because I have a few ideas already about these, right? Empathy. Pros. Builds trust and stronger team bonds. Enhances understanding of diverse perspectives. Drives better decision-making by considering employees' lived experiences. Cons. Can be emotionally taxing if boundaries aren't maintained. Requires more effective effort and self-awareness. Alright, so ChatGPT does it again. That's not true. If I'm empathetic, it doesn't mean it drives better decision-making. Sympathetic would drive better decision-making. Why? Because I am taking myself emotionally out of the equation. If I feel somebody's pain, I'm going definitely to empathize with them and be like, ooh, you know what? I get it. I get why you did that, and it was a bad thing, but you know what? We're not going to fire you over it. There's no accountability or responsibility for actions. You're allowing the employee or the person to manipulate you, essentially. And is that patronizing? I don't think so. So, ChatGPT lived experiences. I don't even know why it used them. Lived experiences. It's not even... You can't put yourself in somebody else's shoes. Not entirely. You can pretend. And sometimes that's patronizing. Like, I know how you feel. I feel so bad for you. I'm totally with you on this. And, yeah, in my mind, that's patronizing. You see me miss that third one? Not gonna let that puppy get away with that second hit. Alright. So, when we look at empathy and leadership is a bad thing, man. It's not a good thing. Throw it in the comments or in the chat if you disagree. To a point, I think it can be used, but for the most part, it's not a tool in your leadership toolbox. Are you telling me? And let's talk about it. we should be friends at work all the time, because I'm going to say no. No. People, could you imagine liking everybody you've ever worked with? Please put in the comments if that's a true statement. Because I'm going to say right now, there's no way that's ever happened to many people. It would be impossible. Can't believe I'm trying to take these two on. Wow, this is crazy. And I'm losing out on my stamina. This could be bad. Wow, that was one heck of a fight. That's gonna take a little bit to recover from. Wow, that was pretty good, but I took way too much damage on that fight, even with that potion. The Aegis potion. That is amazing that I even took that much damage. Very cool. So without the Aegis potion, I would have been dead. Or running. Either one. Alright, so I have pretty strong feelings about this. If empathy builds trust and stronger team bonds, would you rather somebody understand the position you're coming from and not get emotionally involved, or would you rather them cry it with you? Because that's what sympathy is. I'm crying with you because it hits me so hard. It hits me equally. And it's like, no. Just because I know what you're going through doesn't make it sympathetic. It means I've been in a place that is similar. Because using its own words against it, we all have each other, let me say it differently. Our lived experiences are always different. So, for it to be anything other than empathetic versus sympathetic, yeah, convince me otherwise, because I'm pretty much on the I'm on the I'd rather see leaders be empathetic than sympathetic. Is that? A whispering soul. I want to look for stuff in this area. Elder. That's exactly what I was looking for. See if I can find more elderberry. Is there rosemary? Nope. I'd love to see some rosemary in here. Ah, get what I thought. All right, so I'm gonna say there is a. Let's see what ChatGPT says, because it looks like I'm gonna be disagreeing wholeheartedly with ChatGPT on this one. 'Cause this is ridiculous. Just the way that it's explaining it to me, like I have to put myself in somebody else's shoes to understand what they're going through. Nah, I don't think so. I mean, part of the reason you want somebody not to do that is you want them to be detached from your experiences, so you can have a person that's mindful, meaning sympathetic, but not in the trenches, not going through the same experience as you, because it's hindering, right? I hear them. Right, jeez. I'm hoping you guys can hear this because it's really cool. So I'll turn it up just a little bit to see if you can hear it. Oh crap! Gotta run. I didn't realize I was that close to him. Man, amount of stamina here. All right, let's do this again. They're scary. I love it. All right, it says I'm gonna stop in the middle of this soup. Where am I? Oh, okay. I would love to be able to go around them, but I don't think I can go around them that way. They're so hard to see in here. I love games that do this, though. This is amazing. Because they really make you think before you act, right? And they use the terrain against you, right? Which is awesome. Oh, here's the road. Roads are usually good, right? I've been through there. I haven't been in there. But it's hard to get in there. Maybe if I go... Let me go here and then kind of go toward the lake. So I'll follow the road. Alright, so leadership and building culture. This is what ChatGPT says. Like I said, I'll probably... Well, let me read it. Maybe I'll agree with it. I have to keep an open mind, right? That's what we gotta do. Effective leaders understand the power of empathy in shaping culture of collaboration. What it long? Okay, hold on. And inclusivity. Empathy allows leaders to anticipate challenges, connect meaningfully with their teams, and foster environments where everyone feels seen and heard. Leaders rely solely on sympathy. They risk appearing detached or pitying, which can stifle genuine connection and innovation. Okay. So the question becomes, how do leaders no, the question doesn't become the question is still valid. How do leaders incorporate empathy into their leadership style while maintaining healthy boundaries? Let's explore actionable strategies to discuss the balance. Okay, so let's take the first thought. Why can't I create a genuine connection and innovation by being sympathetic? Why do I have to be empathetic? It doesn't make sense to me. And here's why. If you're empathetic, you are actually, in my opinion, giving the person more credit because you don't know them. You don't know what they've gone through. You don't know anything about them. You may or may not understand where they came from or who they are. To apply sympathy or being sympathetic implies that you know them, that you literally know everything about them and why they're going through the instance that they're going through. That's how I read it. It makes no sense to me to do that for somebody that's not a family. Why? And this is let's take a tangent here, because any company that says we're family, run. They're not. Do you think a business will be like, oh, I can't fire them because we're family? Even though we don't have the money and we have to lay off people, I'm not going to do it because we're family. It's like, seriously? Are we really going there? And the answer is no. We're not. That's the whole point of it. There's no reason. Oh, no. I just realized I was out of food. I can't believe that bear did not just maul me to death. It totally had me if it wanted to do this. I should be coming up on it. Yeah, there it is. Alright, so I think my rant's over, but I put it in a chat or in the comments. Do you agree? I mean, is it better for a leader to be sympathetic than empathetic? I know in the military, empathy went a long way. Hey, dude, I know how you're feeling, but we gotta move on. We gotta do this. We gotta keep continuing on, right? So that makes sense to me. But for someone to, at like a 9-to-5 salary position or even an hourly position, for a leader to go, I know what you mean, I know how you feel, I'm not so sure that would be productive. Why would you treat them any differently, right? Meaning, you treat them with respect. I think empathy can do that. You don't use it too often, but you'd like to empathize with them and say, hey, dude, I know what you're feeling, but this is what we have to do to continue moving forward, right? I think that's acceptable. But the way ChatGPT is saying it and trying to interpret it is like, oh, no, being a leader, you have to sympathize. That's the best way to go. What? And then for society, it says, well, it goes, for society, how can a more empathetic culture address systematic issues like inequality or polarization? Well, empathy is one thing, for sure. But I wouldn't be sympathetic. I mean, can you govern sympathetically? Think about it. Think about these decisions that would be made over emotion versus logic and reason. And just because you are taking an empathetic approach doesn't mean it's condescending. I think quite the opposite. Yeah, I understand where you're coming from. However, we might not be able to do it your way because this and this and this. I think people being treated like adults than children. And sympathy is best suited for families, right? I don't believe that for a second that sympathy should be the primary motivator within. Uh-oh. I didn't want to do that, but that's alright. That is a long way down. Oh, wow. Weird. Oh, okay. You know where I am. Oh, this sucks. I'm trapped on this island now? That looks like a really far swim. Oh boy. I think I trapped myself, huh? Let's see if there's anything here, right? Alright, go ahead. I can't swim that way for sure. So that's the only place I can swim. Possibly. That seems like a really far swim. And I don't think I can get up from there anyway. Alright. I might not be able to get up from here. Did we stick ourselves in a place where we're gonna have to teleport out of here? Possibly. Because there's no way up. Nah, they couldn't have. I guess they did make an area where you cannot get back up. You would think here. No, we're not going anywhere there. A climbing mechanism would be awesome, honestly. Yeah, I think I stuck myself. Oh, interesting. There's no way up there either. I'm trying. What I should do is attempt. But if I die, I have to come back here. So I'm not really. Yeah, I think I did it to myself. Abilities on cooldown? Why is it on cooldown? I didn't die. What the hell? right. No quirks is in range. Let's wait for a minute. See if it goes away. Looks like it's going away. All right, so yeah, I'm not so sure I agree with some of these things. What's an example of a leader using empathy effectively in a crisis? By their definition, you should never do that. Like, ever. Why would you inject emotion where it doesn't need to be? Right? That makes absolutely no sense. It's called Petcharamea. Petcharamea. What does Petcharamea mean? I'm curious. I like the galloping horses there, but there are no horses in Pax Dei. There we go. That was really weird. Anyway, see if ChatGPT knows what Petcharamea means. Oh, I get it. So it just means go back to my stone, my rock. That is my rock right there. That's funny. Interesting. Where am I anyway? That rock right there. I don't know. I'll just go back. Well, I'll find on the way. Maybe I'll beat the crap out of some of these guys here. See how well I can do. Oh, that was kind of cool. Let me see if I can pull one of these guys. People already clear them? Can't do two. That's true. Three of them? Oh wow, he was like nothing. I got a different type of leggings though. That's kind of cool. See if we can get these guys before they go back. I think I can get him. Oh wow. These guys are easier than the other guys that I fought before. See if I can bring one. I'm doing a little combat. I hit him? Oh. The other guy had like 41 he was hitting me with. This guy's only hitting me with 16. And he sucks compared to the other guy. See which direction he comes up. There he comes. There he goes. Oh, another new recipe. I have got to kill more of these people if I'm going to get new recipes. Are you hiding? Sounds like a chick. Sorry. I'm taking him with frickin' leather armor and bow. Come on. He looks like a big deal, though. Do this first. Seriously? He's like non-existent? I don't need that. Like I can't get him. That sucks. Okay. Go get some more. There we go. Still want to pick this guy up. He's just not... He's not here. He doesn't exist. Weird, right? This is dangerous, but I'm gonna do it anyway. What are you sitting at the table? Sorry, dude. A new recipe. That's kind of cool. So killing these guys actually makes more sense now. Although I was killing them over in the stone area, but they weren't giving me anything. Not like these guys. And I thought maybe I could find some guys up here, but oh, there's one. There you are. What's this? We're not. Get rid of that. I'd rather that. Definitely interesting. I hear him. Maybe I can pull him out with the arrow technique. I didn't get anything from that one. Not happy with that. No? Oh, there's a guy right there. I can hit him. Inventory is full because of this rock. Pick up lard. Awesome. Anybody in there? A lot of bone. Iron ingot. I don't know. There we go. We'll keep this here. Let's see if there's anything inside that I can pick up. Nope. That would be awesome if you can pick up stuff in there. That's pretty interesting stuff. Let's see if there's anything over here. Oh, yeah, there's one guy over here. Damn. I'll take the hit. It's only 16, right? What was that? Was there more shouting over here? Now we're back into the game. It's alright. It was kind of exciting, so let's continue with the game for a second, and then we go back. Nah, that's it. I like literally took everybody in that encampment with the leather and leather armor. I didn't need anything else. That's sad. That's sad. Let's go check out the recipes I got. Hopefully these guys haven't respawned yet. If they have, I'll just kill them, but that is really close to these guys. Whoever decided to put their encampment here. I mean, not like it would bother them. That is not what I'm saying. Alright. Alright, back to it. So I think Petra Mea is Latin. "2s Petra Mea" means "you are my rock." 2s Petra. Definitely an interesting area. This one is mostly area controlled by players, by the way. I knew I missed that. Once I launched it, I was like, oh, he's moving. Really? I knew I got that one. Yeah, so sympathy and empathy. Throw it in the comments in the chat. I'm not so sure I'm convinced that sympathy is the right course of action for people you don't know. Meaning, it seems more condescending to say, I know exactly what you're going through. I think empathy is more, I feel that I know what you're going through, so, you know, let me help you. I don't think that's condescending at all, honestly. I think that's a better leadership style as well. Because ultimately, the leadership style that you're going to want to provide within the context of the within the context of a relationship, right? I totally hit him for 30. Yeah, you're not getting me that easy. Oh. I could have taken him. Let's get more of these guys. These guys are easy over here. They're so much harder in the other area, which I really enjoy. They look foreboding, right? Oh my god. See if there's anybody else over here. Not over here. That guy down there. There we go. Somebody's cracking logs. It's funny that I'm taking these guys with a spear. These Justicars aren't giving me nothing. Not happy with that. I thought these guys were tougher. Oh, again, they just... Nice. It would be really cool if I could pick up stuff, though. Nothing. Come on. That one was interesting. I was going behind a tree and everything. See if I can... There we go. Come on. Interesting. Oh yes, magic. That guy, that type of person, I have attacked before in the other world, but yeah, they always suck because they cast spells when they're being attacked. Can't let them go to waste, right? Alright. Now I gotta figure out where am I and which way I'm pointing. I am actually pointing in the correct direction, so let's continue. Alright, so what else do we have tonight that we want to talk about leadership-wise? I think we'll leave it there for empathy and sympathy, and I really want feedback on what you guys think about this, because there is in my mind, it's very plausible to think that empathy is better than sympathy in most circumstances, especially with leadership. So I'm kind of curious on what people think, because I believe I've laid out a decent case. What I don't believe is that sympathy is something you should strive for all the time. One of the cons is that you become emotionally drained. Can you imagine a leader sympathizing with, let's say they manage 20 people, then you sympathize with all 20? What kind of emotional drain would you have? You can empathize. Then why wouldn't you? Right? Sympathize is just a... Yeah. Anyway, let me take this break. It's a non... I forgot about this guy. He's just gonna be a pain in my butt, so I might as well hit him. Really? Just doing this for skinning rights. Alright. Is there any science? Somebody left it there. I'm gonna use it. Oh, did you see the arrow curve? Come on, you can't get better shot than that. And it's a badger, so I don't care. I'm out of arrows. Really? Glad I'm going back. Oh. Oh, that's because I went toe-to-toe with Justicars, and that takes up a ton of arrows. Usually I take about a quantity of 200 arrows. Here, let me show you the difference when we get back to the house. What I'll do is I'll get some more arrows. I'll repair some of this equipment, and we'll go to the other area where the Justicars are, and I'll show you the difference in damage, because their arrows do like 41. It's not even funny. It's absolutely incredible what the difference is. These guys do 16, and the other ones do 41. Anyway, at any rate, I was talking today, and I think this is a good segue into a different science/health topic. And of course, because the law is the law and the legal system sucks, I have to say I am not a nutritionist nor a doctor. So don't follow my advice. Do your own research. Unbelievable. It's crazy, right? Like, why you would have to do that to alleviate yourself of liability for statements that somebody might listen to, and then you, being the studious listener you are, because what other listener could you be, will do their own research and due diligence to ensure that they are not being told any lies or exaggerations or falsehoods. There's so many different ways to look up information now, it's not even funny. So, with all that said, I am very much into health ever since I came down with a I came down. I ate my way to diabetes, right? So far, last 2 years, 4 years, I think I reversed it. I'm not joking. I think I literally reversed it. And what does that mean? It means the insulin resistance is no longer a factor within my blood. Now, the way I can tell you why that happens is I can eat and be within normal levels within the appropriate 2.5 hours that is dictated by the norm, right? And that's all it is, right? So keep that in mind when we're talking about health and stuff. I think it's so important that everybody controls their health and they look into these ingredients. I'll tell you one thing, I couldn't believe the lack of ingredients or the lack of transparency. Some of these ingredients that I look up all the time. So, for example, tonight I was reading labels and there was this one chemical. Let's see if I still have it. I have a conversation with ChatGPT while I'm out there. Oh, here it is. So I asked it, where is it? I gotta get to the original. What is natural color Echo 160 Echo or E160E? And it says that it's a natural color, or natural color refers to beta APO8 carotenoid, a carotenoid-based food coloring derived from natural sources. It is used to impart orange or reddish-orange hue to foods and beverages. This additive is identified by European Union's food additive color E160E and is considered safe for consumption within regulated limits. Which, honestly, Europe, I gotta give kudos to Europe because they're actually one of the few countries that I'm one of the few unions, Europe in general, right? And that I think that's what I'm getting at. So forgive me with the generalization, but basically what I'm trying to say is that the European Union has outlawed certain additives to food that, although not proven, tend to, right? They tend to have certain aspects of certain detrimental effects, lack of a better term, right? And what does that mean exactly? Well, it means a couple different things. It means that we as humans love to flavor our food or put preservatives in our food, and we really don't do much research, put simply, into what we're actually putting in our food. Why is this detrimental? It's detrimental for a few reasons, but one of the reasons is the fact that food additives in the United States have gone well into absurd. Meaning we're putting things into our body that don't, it's not necessarily a, no, it's not good. It's just not good, right? Sorry, I gotta look up this thing. Recipes. What's that? Mallow. High mallow extract. It's alchemy. Okay. So when we're talking about food and everything, I basically cleaned up my food sources because of this, because of diabetes, right? So I was like, all right, well, if carbs increase the amount of glucose in your system, then cutting carbs should be advantageous. So I cut as many carbs as I could and went on keto, right? And now many of you might be saying, well, keto is not necessarily a great thing. And to be fair, it isn't. Um, when done incorrectly. When done correctly, it's actually not too bad. So the what we what my what I did was I cut all the carbs, and basically I did I took the negative, right? Meaning I subtracted everything out of my diet except for meat, which at the very beginning was salmon, eggs in moderation. So I did 2 eggs, a 8-ounce salmon steak. What else did I used to have? I used nuts, like macadamia nuts, or walnuts, or Brazilian nuts. Those were the 3 themes. I did some peanuts, but the peanuts had to be natural. They couldn't be like a processed peanut butter, meaning added sugar. So I looked for things like that were products that just had if they were creaming the peanuts into like a butter, I wanted to just have the oil and the butter. And I also did the oil. I tried to limit as much as possible all the seed oils, right? Just what I was doing was I was cleansing everything that could cause inflammation in my body. That was basically the theory behind it. And as I started to heal, I'm starting to add different things back into it. Like I'll go with broccoli, I'll do a broccoli, or I'll do other type of carbohydrates, right? And this is a big deal because, put simply, carbohydrates was bad for me, right? And anything to spike my glucose. So I started to do all this research. Interestingly enough, people like RFK, Bobby Kennedy, right, who made his debut here this year as a Democratic nominee, and then he went independent, and then he went went to Trump, right, and said, "Hey, Trump, this is what's going on with people. Let's see what we can do to make everybody healthy." Because the whole point of the exercise for governing is you need your people healthy. Otherwise, you don't have any people to govern. Make sense? Makes sense to me, anyway. He didn't say it in those terms, but ultimately that is the purpose, right? So when you're talking about healthy and not healthy, and oh crap, I took my way down. Nah, that's funny. So you wanna definitely have these different outlooks on your health. So again, not a doctor. I'm not giving you medical advice, but what I'm doing is I'm trying to teach you that looking and researching these different things, these different foods, these different chemicals that they put in the foods, I believe you would benefit from looking at these labels. It's funny, my wife, she'll tend to be like, why are you doing this? And because I'll sit there and I'll read the label, because I want to make sure or ensure that I'm putting in my body what I think I'm putting in my body, at least so long as the label is being honest with me. And that's another conversation we could have, right? So when we're looking at these kind of things, we definitely want to ensure that the type of label that we're reading has, or food that we're reading the label on, has what we want and what we don't want. So ultimately, we don't put in body inflammatory or bad for us, just downright bad for us things. So in this example with the E160, or what is it? Yeah, the E160E, I started doing research right then and there because I really wanted this food, but I was looking down the ingredients list and I was like, I have a couple questions on some of the chemicals. So when I looked at some of these, and it was like, yeah, you can totally see. Oh wait, darn it. I didn't want to do this just yet. I wanted to see what recipes I got and what they do. But so it takes more time for sure. But if you want something, you're more apt to try to create it, right? No. Tunic and leggings. So the tunic might be here. It would be Ornyx tunic. Let's see. ORO. There we go. I got his leggings. Yeah, but I don't have a tunic. Oh, it's because I'm at the leather. All right. Small earth amulet, worn out lockets, rawhide, and coarse bands. So if I do worn out locket, I'll do 2 of these. I need coarse leather bands. There we go. I'll take 2 of those. Where is this? Or there it is. And I don't even think they're worth it. Hold on. I think I'm wearing mine. Yeah. So they're beginner stuff. That's alright. We'll make it just because I mastered it already. So it's not even worth it. Alright, let's put this away. Oh, wait, hold on. I'll put those downstairs. I'll go kill something a little bit more my level, if that makes sense. Alright, so yeah, I highly advise everybody to go ahead and look at what is going on with their food and what they're purchasing. Now, meats, chickens, any kind of meat, I would caution you on as well. So just FYI with that, because some meat and some chicken are done in such a way that it will not be exactly what you are actually looking for either. So keep that in mind when you're doing these kind of look. I think that's all. Yep. Okay, so let's put this on. There we go. I should have complete. Oh, I need my cape. There we go. Let's go grab some. Alright, got healing potions, got my Aegis. I might need more of this, and I might need that, depending. And I might need one of those, just in case. And which way is the easiest to? Yeah, let's go. There we go. Very rarely do I put on my armor, but I'm going to do some serious fighting today with the Justicars in this area, so I don't know how they're going to be or how tough they're going to be. So yeah, let's go back to it. E160E, by the way, uses in soft drinks, dairy products, confectionaries, snacks, and sauces and soups. Makes anything red or orange. But I asked, all right, so everything seems in order, right? With the E160E. So I asked, what is it made from? Because what it is and what it's made from are two different things, in my opinion. Because as you dig into what it is and how it's made, you might say no. And in this case, and everything in moderation, let's go with that as well. Anything in moderation. In this case, these natural sources of E160 are carrots, palm oil, algae, and plants. The palm oil I could do without. I could do without the palm oil. However, the algae and plants and carrots I'm okay with. So you don't, and this is the other thing I hate about ingredients, is they don't have to tell you how it's derived. It irritates the shit out of me. This is food we're putting in our mouth. It's not a trade secret. You know what I mean? I don't know. Put it in the chat. I think. Do you think? Let's answer the question. Do you think ingredients in today's marketplace should be a little bit more detailed, or at least access to that detail should be provided? Whether it's a QR code on the product where you can just scan it and get all the nutritional information and the ingredients, right? I think that would be beneficial to a lot of people. And I think, well, not even beneficial. It allows people to make more informed decisions about what they're putting in our body. The carnivore diet is just basically meat, right? So again, not a doctor, but from my investigations and my research, there are essential fatty acids and essential proteins. I haven't found anything that says essential carbohydrates. Nothing. Not a one thing. So in that vein, I'm like, okay, so do I need carbohydrates at all? We're not talking about micro or macronutrients. We're just talking about the actual substance, right? Could you live on just fats and protein? The answer is yeah. Would you get malnutrition? Probably not. And the reason I say that is scurvy, we know, is a lack of vitamin C. But is there vitamin C in meat? Right? And that's the let me that's a really good question. See, I'm doing an investigation as we're talking. Can you live on fats and proteins alone? Let's ask the all right, so wow, it's just going off, guys. All right, so the summary is, yes, you can survive and even thrive on fats and proteins alone, but be careful. Planning is essential to avoid nutrient deficiencies, digestive problems, and other health risks. Incorporating healthy fats, high-quality proteins, and necessary supplements to ensure that the diet supports an overall well-being. Always best to consult a healthcare provider or dietitian before making significant dietary changes, of course. Yeah, and ketosis, to be fair, a lot of people were big in the keto diet. What was the keto diet primarily used for? Well,
primarily used to slow the brain functions, so you didn't have. It was to control seizures, brain seizures, right? So when you're going through ketosis, there's a certain point in which you have the clarity of almost. Oh my god, it's great. For a week straight, I had the best clarity in the entire world. I want to be there again. So what I've been doing is I've been adding healthy fibrous carbohydrates such as broccoli and Brussels sprouts, asparagus as well. But I try to keep them very limited. But I try to raise those type of carbohydrates up so I can get that clarity that I once had. And the reason I think I had that clarity going into my ketosis at first is because my body was using it was using the remnants of the carbs within my system, right, off of my liver, especially my glutamine or I forget what's on your liver, but there's a glucose that's just stored on your liver. You know what? This is a learning program, so we can take a moment. What are the sugars stored on your liver? By the way, fatty liver disease, non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, is basically an it's a super supply. It's a stored supply of glycogen, by the way. So that's the glycogen is what is stored on the liver and becomes fat. It stores itself as fat. So when it does release, the liver will take that fat, reintegrate it into sugars, and then supply the needed sugars where you need to be. The brain works on sugars. It can work on ketones very efficiently. However, ketones are harder for the brain to use, right? Which is okay. That is perfectly okay. And as a matter of fact, the hell is that bear doing? Stay away, bear. Oh, there it is. It was up on the thing. All right, let's go pick a fight. What does everybody say? All right, so we'll hold off on this health conversation because we are picking a fight. Should I put some battle music on? Let's see if I have any. I built one of these. Let's see if I have it in my library. I want to say it was... Let's see if I put it in my file. Maybe I downloaded it. Let me see. I'm looking on my other screen right now because I thought I put some of the here it is. Nope. Oh no, Stealing the Fire. No, that's my intro, I think. Alright, let me get out of there. I thought I made like a heavy metal song. Ah! How long has that been up there? Okay. Alright, let's see. You can hear the guys. Are they in pain or something? He's bored, but the other guy was in pain or something. Let's see. Hunter's Creed, Against the Void. Light of Dawn. God, I think in Suno, I still have the creative streak in me. I'm just totally creating songs. Let's try this one. What is it? Forged in Shadows. Oh yeah, that's a fighting music if I ever heard it. How tough he is. Wow. I like the music. Is he actually trying to hit me? That's funny. Yeah, these guys are no joke. I saw a player, but I guess he decided not to continue, or I don't. So that was one of the Suno song, by the way. It actually has some rock to it, so happy to share it. That one I'm still refining. I think I should be doing a little bit more editing. Is that guy still trying to fire at me? That is crazy. And that guy just ended him. That was funny as hell. Yeah, these guys are tough, much tougher than the other guys, right? Let's see if he He's mending himself. Oh. I don't have any spells. My armor's not as as advanced as his either. I'll take a look at here. I don't want to get into his way. If he's hunting, I don't want to take off and take his stuff. You know what I mean? It's kind of courtesy. Although I look tougher than I am, as you saw, I'm not exactly the pinnacle of health. Let's see what happens. I'm curious. He gave me a spell. I'm wondering what it is. Maybe it's like looks like it heals me a little faster. That's kind of nice. Yeah, it did. It healed. It was healing me faster. That's a shame. Yeah, this is a tough area. I knew it would be, but I didn't think it would be as tough as. I mean, they're doing like 31 hit points of damage to me. If I can pull one, I'll be all right. But if I'm starting to pull two, I don't think I'll be near as effective. That's all right. We need to practice, right? I should make one a song about Emphyr dying. That's funny because he does a lot. Well, actually, you know what? I've been better not dying recently, and the reason being is because I don't do foolhardy stuff anymore. I think is he doing? Oh. It's Derek. I'll wave to Derek. Oh, I didn't put my tabard on. That's what the difference is. That's all right. I'm okay with that. And there's my next target. Unless that other guy got to it before I did. I'm wondering if I can fight a bear as effectively. That's the key, huh? So let's talk a little bit about science. We talk about health, right? And in doing the health aspect of this, we also have to talk about science and how science does help us a lot. And there are chemicals out there that are beneficial to the human race, right? I got both of them. Crap. I gotta keep running. This is funny. Yeah, I took the extra time to do this, and that was my own fault. Wow, he released pretty fast. I thought the other guy left. I really need to take this guy out. Wow. He's pretty tough. Up close. I didn't really get anything. Not happy about that. They got potion of healing. So I took 2. But man, was I really kind of like my silver armor without my tunic. Might as well pick this up too. As I stumble upon Sow Thistle, I don't know. Let's go around the front. See if I can make a frontal assault. I need a bear food so I can make a bear stew. That would be so helpful. I'm hoping to get something like I did on the off of those other people in the other area, where I could actually get some kind of clothing or something that could give me a little bit of let's see if I can pull just one. There you are. Come on. There we go. Oh. Where'd you go? There you are. I'm getting attacked by both people here. Is he trying to get me through the window? Yeah, yes. That's kind of cool. Got him. How'd he get me? You barely see me, probably. It's a bad place for a tower, honestly. Like if you're gonna build a tower, that's like one of the worst places to do it. I thought I got away from that one. How much more does this guy have? Holy crap. I take him?
Finally? There he is. Oh, come on. All that and I can't get to him. He's like hanging out. I should be able to get to him. It's no fair. I used all those arrows. He's like perfectly covered. Ah, that sucks. You know what? I'm gonna report it because that's ridiculous. There you go. F8. Cannot retrieve uh booty. There we go. Duck in wall. Cannot retrieve spoils of battle. And this is part of topic. Combat. Here we go. Nice. All right, let's get out of here. And let's do this. I'm going to use my Aegis potion and see if I can't coax just one of these guys out. Not like two. This guy's gonna kill me soon. And notice the one thing. Come on. Oh, did you see that? What's going on? That was weird. I lost control of my character there for a second. I was not happy about that. Man, that was close. And I can't use my healing potions because I'm using my Aegis potion, which means I have to wait for my Aegis potion. Yeah, to go. I don't really. I don't like that. Did I get anything worth there? I got silver, which is kind of cool. That wasn't from him. Weird. Anyway, at any rate, let's talk about something. Leadership. Let's talk about leadership again. Because leadership is cool. And leadership is something that can take you through your life. And did I close out ChatGPT? Weird. Okay.
So one of the things that I always try to figure out is when you're a leader in a company, and this doesn't mean you're management necessarily, but you're a leader and people look to you for leadership. What what do we do to get people engaged? Right. And this is important because a lot of engagement is not exactly what we think it's going to be or what we want it to be. Like people could be engaged or barely engaged, they can be moderately engaged, they can be highly engaged. But what really, as a leader, can we do to keep people at that highly engaged aspect, right? Because ultimately, seriously, it's like I can't talk, right? So to keep somebody highly engaged, what are the tools and mechanisms you can use? We did talk about empathy and sympathy, right? And I think to a degree, you have to use empathy because each person that you're leading is a human, right? They have responsibilities, they have personal responsibilities, and they have other different aspects to their own life that without cause or without notice or without knowledge of the leader, you may or may not be aware, right? Damn. Let's see if I can. Wow. I'm backing him up. Oh, he got me. Wow. That was one of my better ones. I really got to learn to do that more often. Ah, crap. Did he really get me from all the way over there? I need one of his bows. Really? It's gotta be kidding me. I gotta hit him more often. Oh my god. That guy's still freaking hitting me from there. Can I hit him? I'm going to, even though I'm at 96. Really? There we got him. Oh, that was way too high. Come on, aim at me. There we go. Ah, that was too high. Oh. Man, that took a minute. There's 2 people there. Okay. So I gotta be careful. I didn't get any real cool drops this time. That's annoying. Let's see if I can. I don't think I can pull just one of these guys. This is a scout. Ah, come on. Funny that they don't. You would think after a minute they'd be like, holy crap, this guy is just running around. Ah, come on. Although they do 34 when they hit, so it's not like they hit like the other ones. Right? Like the other ones over in the other area, they were hitting me for like 16. Big deal. Wonder if I could. Bears try to come up at you though. I don't think I could use the same tactic as I can with the scouts. I'm wondering if steel arrows would make a difference. You know what I mean? Well, they will, but significantly. Well, you're gonna let me. And more lard. Yeah, I'm out. I'll just go around. That should be alright if I stay to the road. Alright. Well, I didn't die. That's good. And I had some good fights. That's even better. And I did use my good music that was kind of rocking, which was kind of cool. But yeah, and there's a bear. Yeah, it's funny. I think I used the me running from the bear for the icon tonight, which is pretty funny. The thumbnail. I think that just encapsulates the Pax Day adventure completely. You can take other players, you can take other PDEs, but the bear, no, the bear is the bear. The bear will kick your beep. Anyway, all right. So we were talking about leadership, and you know what? I can use Blackberry's well, it's good to carry. It's not like I'm short on, but at the same time, opportunity, you know. Anyway, so how do you engage employees? There's a couple of different types of employees in my mind, right? People who want to be there, people who don't want to be there, people who have to be there. Well, there's let's just break it down to 3, right? And then using like as like I had mentioned earlier, empathy and sympathy. Probably empathy. I don't think anybody would believe sympathy, and it might be too personal, right? Especially for some archetypes of people that are going through and becoming part of the workforce. For example, if too many of my executives had sympathy for me, I'd be like, you don't really mean that, and you're making this up, right? There's a trust thing. Leaders in all in society. Well, let's talk society first, and then we'll talk leadership, because without society having trust with anybody else, you're really not going to have any real type of leadership. Now, let me say it a different way. Leadership is different. Trust is what we're talking about. If I don't trust you, or a trust in society is flimsy at best, then we can expect that no one will trust anyone, right? And that could be perceived as bad. It's not necessarily, most horrible thing. However, well, now I'm going to say it's horrible. Think of it this way. This is the way I always like, and I think I said this in another podcast, but the example I use is, in a trust society, you would trust the other person to do what's responsible and right. The one area that we still have a lot of trust in each other is the roadways, driving, in the United States especially. There's rules of the road, and we trust people to follow those rules. Now, some people do break the rules and speed and such, but we trust they won't hit us, right? So there's a modicum of trust, regardless of the degree of trust. There's still trust, right? So if you trust it, and this is trust in a stranger, think about that. What the heck is that? I don't know if I can get this guy. Let's see if this guy will come along. See if I can do a couple different shots. I knew it. I saw it, and I was like, I'm moving too early. I'm not moving fast enough. There he is. There it is. It's all about timing, right? Really? Is he behind the... See if I can get him. Did the other guy? He did. Get one good stab in. Wow, keeps trying to kick me. Wow. Is this guy not going to give me anything again? Come on. Nope. I'm not going to get anything. I'm going to get the poppies. You're not going to take the poppies away from me. There. Fine. Haha. I got my poppies. I'm running. Oh, do I have... Is that a bear? I couldn't tell. It kind of looked like... Was it a player, maybe? Are they lagging? Are they a spirit? I don't know. Anyway, so high trust society, right? And why I bring this up is because you have to trust people. And if you don't trust people, especially at work, you fall into this despair, this I can't trust anybody, therefore I'm the only one who can be trusted, therefore I am the only one who is going to be able to do anything, and I can only trust myself. Right? So, in general, what you're stating is you're just making it difficult on yourself, but well, now I'm going to say that differently because it's not necessarily true that you're making it difficult on yourself. Perhaps there's good reason why you don't trust people, right? And that's valid. That's very valid. But ultimately, I think trust has to be brought back in society. And how do you bring back trust in society? Well, you'll have to we talked about this last night. You have to agree on a foundational belief system. Everybody has to agree with to the same rules of the game. I say it the rules of the game, but isn't it true though? It's not necessarily life's a game, and that's not what I'm trying to make light of. What I'm trying to say is there's got to be rules, and we all have to play by them. And then when we go outside the rules, there has to be repercussions. Now, here's where I think ultimately the bad calls can be made. Sorry, break for his stevia. We talked about this a little bit last night about justice and how it's administered. We all know that a judge is supposed to be impartial and is supposed to bring justice to the trial that's happening, be impartial to the point where the law is the law. And when you're talking about the law, you don't want to allow people on the defendant or the prosecuting side to have the upper hand using tactics or hearsay or other facets of an argument that do not bring equality, right? Equal treatment, trust, right? And I think ultimately that's where even at work we have to think about that. But if we have rules to the game, then we have to have judges, or as I like to call them, game masters, right? That's what a DM, a dungeon master, is. They not only create or craft the game, but they enforce the rules as impartially as possible to make the game fun, enjoyable, fair. At least as fair as one can make the game, right? Meaning you shouldn't rule against people who don't think things out, and you can't rule for people who don't think things out. The same with the leader. I think the leader may be the person who has to be neutral, true neutral. Hardest alignment in Dungeons and Dragons that you can have. To play a true neutral player isn't to say, because I do something good, I need to do something evil. That's not true neutral. True neutral is very hard to play. It has different facets. And it's certainly, I'm going to pick up some flag while I'm on my way home. And leaders will have to play that part, right? Because what you don't want is a leader who is who likes somebody over yourself, right? It makes sense, right? Because we don't like leaders who sympathize with one person over another. It makes it it takes away the impartiality, because I'm sympathizing with one person and I'm not. And this is where sympathy, one argument where I don't believe sympathy should be used over empathy. Empathy, I feel you. I know what you're going through. I see how you feel, and I see why you feel it, and that's acknowledged. However, I'm not going to sympathize with you because I have a job to do to bring in the other person or persons into consideration. And if I'm sympathetic with you and not sympathetic with them, it causes interesting things to happen. I'm looking at the sky. It's actually kind of cloudy. That's kind of cool. My armor took a beating today. Oh, not too bad. I didn't think I was going to be able to do anything with that. That's all right. But ultimately, yeah, I think everybody sees where I'm going with going. What my point is about empathy versus sympathy, right? I hope, because it's not from a point of not being compassionate, because I want to be compassionate. Compassion is not sympathy or empathy; it's compassion. So in doing so, we have to identify. I do not know what that. It's like it's. We have to acknowledge certain aspects of the game, and that's the problem. There we go. Now I need. What do I need? This one. There we go. And I need my shoes and my pants. Otherwise, it looks like a skirt. Which I don't think would look bad on him. However, not what I was going for. Okay. But ultimately, how many but ultimately's do I have to say? Gosh. Put in the chat if you've counted how many but ultimately's I've said tonight. I've got to work on my communication skills. Wholly, I would say that we as a society need to agree on some of the rules. That's basically it, right? Why wouldn't we? And it benefits all of us. Can't really have a silver ingot. That's pretty cool. I can make silver arrow tips out of that. I'm looking to see where I need to go. I almost used 200 arrows. Holy mackerel. Oh, I didn't pick up any of that. Okay. Nothing there. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do this. And I'm going to make... Is this glass? It is glass. I don't need this. I need... to go make some files. Because I have not made a large file. I'm going to need more. Oh, wait, hold on. I think I might have need some glass. All right, back to fairness and justice and leadership. In all honesty, when you're talking about leadership, it's not management. Managers can manage. Management is, in my opinion, in my studied opinion, I should add. When I'm talking about managers managing, they're doing it. They're managing a process. Leaders lead people. When you're leader, it doesn't matter where you sit in the company. Like a manager might sit in a management position in a company, but a leader could be in any position in a company. And I want to make that very clear because a lot of people who are really good leaders are not managers, and some managers who aren't really good at leading people just simply aren't. It's not funny. Not funny either. I'll put this in here. Okay. I think I have. That's I can put that there. That there. All right. That works. Let's go put the food away. So let me know your thoughts on leaders versus managers. It's a pretty, even in academic studies, it's pretty widely debated on certain aspects on what should and shouldn't happen, or where they lie in the grand scheme of things within a company, or if they're the same thing. If a manager's a leader and a leader's a manager, I just don't believe that they are the same thing. Could they be? Yes, but like I said before, it's not necessarily an actual. If you did a case study, well, no, case studies aren't the best. Let me know in the comments. Let me know in the comments section, and let me know in the chat if you believe leaders are the same, or what your definition of leader is, because I've known a lot of leaders that can foster trust in their team. And sometimes a culture of your team is all you need. You don't need a culture, you don't need the culture of your team to be anything, or I'm sorry, you don't need the culture of the company to run a team effectively. What the bad part about that is, when you're talking about team culture, it won't necessarily conflict with the culture of the company. However, the culture of the company might be toxic, and you might have to deviate as much as possible from the culture of the company on purpose. As a leader, you might be like, yeah, the company's not exactly doing what I need it to do, and therefore I need to create a culture within my team that will promote what I need to happen, right? Or what would be best for the company is the culture of my team. When the culture of the company might not necessarily be the best part of that equation. Might work against you, if you will. So when you're looking at cultivating meaningful employee engagement, right? We need to define what employee engagement is at first. Like, and in a game, you want to know what the game is. So what does true engagement look like? Discuss the difference between employees being satisfied and being genuinely invested in their work. Well, engagement, yeah, see, ChatGPT just has I'm sure O1 is better, but to be quite honest, I'm not impressed with a 4.0 right now, because the question shouldn't be what is true engagement look. Well, that I like, but discuss the difference between employees being satisfied and being genuinely invested in their work. Well, what does that have to do with engagement? I can argue that a satisfied employee can be engaged in their work. They're just not, they're just satisfied. They're not like wholly excited about it. Doesn't mean they're any worse at it or less engaged than somebody who is a cheerleader from the company. So I'm going to kind of push back on ChatGPT again. because the limited understanding of AI doesn't necessarily make it a broad statement for everybody to be said that's satisfied. That isn't engaged. I've known many people who are satisfied in their job, but just not and engaged. And engaged. It doesn't mean they're the cheerleaders or anything. They don't want to be here. They're satisfied. They're like, I'm okay. I'm engaged. I'll do my job and I'll do it well and I'll innovate and I'll do everything I can to make my job easier. That's a satisfied employee. An engaged employee might be one who goes above and beyond. Right, a satisfied employee might not go above and beyond, might make their job easier, might make the process of their job easier. I would argue an engaged employee is one who goes above and beyond, meaning they'll make the processes easier for other people in other groups and other business units. That's an engaged employee. They talk to their management actively. They talk to each other, within their team and outside of their team to make life easier for everybody. That's an engaged employee. A satisfied employee is going to a satisfied employee. And I really want to stress this because a lot of people take these broad terms and we're not really diagnosing them. If you're satisfied, is that just content? Is that I'm going to do the minimum? What did they call that? Quiet quitting at the extreme, which is ridiculous because you're not quitting. You're just doing it. You're acting your wage essentially. And, it's hard for me to argue against that. People are like, acting your wage. What does that mean? Well, you're paying me a certain amount of money and why should I do anything else? If I do more than what I need to do, then I'm not getting paid for it. You're getting free services. Why should that occur? You know what I mean? That in and of itself is, in my opinion, it's offensive. It's absolutely offensive to ask somebody to do more than their job for a longer period of time and not compensate them for that job. Why? Because compensation is part of that engagement. If I'm not getting compensated for my job and this isn't, and I want to make sure the boundaries are set. It's not that I am looking at my job and saying I am owed more money for what I do. That's not it. It's measurable, meaning I am not getting paid for all this extra stuff, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, all this stuff that I'm doing, I'm not getting compensated for. Why should I do it? You're grading me on 1, 2, and 3, and I'm doing A through F, as well as 1, 2, and 3. So I'm not letting the ball drop, and I'm doing extra. Yet you're compensating me or making me a satisfactory employee when I'm an exceptional employee. And HR is partly to blame for this because they literally come out with certain aspects like we can't have so many people over 5, or we can't have so many, like if you have a scale of 1 to 5 at the end of the year, well, we can't only have 1 or 2 people at 5s. So if your whole team's 5s, you've just upped the bar. You've changed the curve. Meaning, if everybody's a 5 and they genuinely a 5, and you're saying, oh, well, a couple of people exceeded 5. They're actually 6s. They're 5s. Everybody else is a 3. So you essentially move the curve, the grading curve, from a 5 being the high point to the 5 being a mid. And this brings us to the engagement. When people see that, their engagement goes down because why should I excel or exceed the expectations? I'm meeting, quote unquote, the expectations. It's a meme. It's become such a joke over the years, and through my career, I've encountered this myself. So I am very sympathetic to people, but in my mind, I should be more empathetic. Why? Because I have to detach myself emotionally from the subject. So let's do that. Analytically speaking, you have to have 5s. If you have it on the scale and you can't meet the scale, if you don't have anybody at a 5, then the scale is inaccurate. Think about that. Either the scale's inaccurate or you're not hiring people that can make a 5. I would have to look at your hiring practices because you're not hiring anybody who's achieving a 5. It absolutely is blowing my mind, right? So how, as a leader, can I engage people that are subpar by your own admission? Part of leadership is to motivate by providing methods and paths for people to excel, to innovate, to grow, to make mistakes and learn from those mistakes. If you think a mistake in any leadership position is a negative mark on that employee, we're going to have issues, right? Well, at least I'll have an issue with you, because mistakes are the way we grow. And if a mistake was made, you found a gap, fill the gap. Have that person who made the mistake fill that gap. For example, if the process was 1 through 10 and continually not continually, this person missed step 7, have that person redefine 7, or have them write 7 in such a way where everybody is in agreement with the new 7. That way they feel engaged by manipulating the actual thing they were failing at, and they get to know why that process or that step was there in the first place. They come to understand it. They come to learn it. They will never fail on step 7. Step 6 might fall by the wayside. We can deal with that. We can have those conversations when that happens. I doubt it would happen because people are intelligent. Period. You have to treat people like they're adults. Connection and purpose. Highlight the importance of helping employees see the bigger picture of their work. This is true, and in the fact that if somebody is not aware of what their impact is on the company, they won't be as engaged as they could be. This starts at the hiring process in my mind. In the interview, you should be saying, this is going to be your job. Are you okay with this? What are your questions? Well, can I do this and this and this while I'm in this position? Sometimes it'll see you'll be able to say, yeah, depending on what they're outlining. Sometimes you're going to be like, no, that's not how we work. I just realized I didn't have the desktop up again. I turned it down for the volume of the music. So let's continue this. We will be streaming tomorrow, but I really want to dive into leadership and trust and engagement, because it's such a larger part of society and culture. We also should talk about engagement within podcasts. Podcasts are uniquely positioned to provide immediate feedback and engagement with the podcaster. So it's almost like, well, it is. It's not. It's not that it's almost. It is a town square where people can give proper feedback immediately to the people speaking. This isn't to say we should attack the people speaking. We should let them know where their logic and reason might fail or be flawed. The person speaking has to be able to listen to that communication, might not agree, but articulate the reasons why they don't agree to a point where you can both agree to disagree. Meaning, both points were so well made that people aren't really moving from their position because there's good reasons on both sides of the argument or of the debate. On the other hand, you might, depending on your argument and your discussion points, you might be able to convince the person or the podcaster or the person on the other that brought it up the merits of your argument, and therefore move them to a closer position, or even entirely to the full position that the debate was depending on the position, A or B, right? You might move them closer to A, you might move them closer to B, but the movement's there because people are open-minded, critically thinking and asking questions of each other. Again, engagement within the podcast and the thoughts within that podcast. That's part of this channel's mission, is to get that engagement, to talk, to go do the back and forth. Nobody's going to slam dunk. Nobody's going to drop the mic. Well, I'm going to say that, but maybe there is something where that can occur. But for the most part, I think it's going to be intellectual debate, reasons, and I'm sure we're going to put some empathy. Some people are going to sympathize with people, and this is all part of the learning process. And I think for everybody, it's a good thing. People who are arguing A, trying to convince position A to people on B and C, might not move B and C. They might move them a little bit. Moving them a little bit might be great, but B and C might move A just a little bit to their side. And lo and behold, we might get a middle ground where we can all agree that this might be the best course of action for a limited period of time. That's another topic we might want to go over, is some of the laws. What are the sunset laws? Are there laws that we would want to have sunset clauses for? And what are the benefits to the sunset clauses, right? All of these are absolutely part of the betterment of society, the betterment of culture, and the betterment of the individual. Mostly, if you can improve yourself, you're going to improve society and culture. It's just going to happen that way. Well, I've taken up enough of your time. We've gone 2.5 hours. What we'll do is we'll pick some of this up tomorrow. So I hope you can join me live, so we can have the chat discussion. We'll do this all again at 8 Central tomorrow. I might be a little late, depending. I have a few things being delivered, and I'm hopefully they are delivered prior to the 8 o'clock p.m. But let's work on that. Let's expect 8 Central to be the time that I'm going to be starting the podcast. It might be 8:15. Might just make I'll definitely make an X announcement. I am also on LinkedIn. Please join me on LinkedIn. I have plenty of leadership articles. I have AI articles that integrate the tool with your leadership. I also have leadership from ancient philosophers and the philosophy of ancients, bringing them into the current year and using them as leadership and management tools. Guidance, wisdom. What else? Those are the two big ones. So let's start out tomorrow, and we'll do a little bit more exploration. We might even build a house. So with that said, I should have my guy turn around so he's like talking to you, right? So with that said, let's pause it here, and then we'll have the podcast tomorrow, 8 Central. Looking forward to it. I hope you had a good time. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe, do all that good stuff. And we will talk to you tomorrow. Everybody, be kind to everybody and be safe. Have a good one, everyone.
With every step, a lesson learned. From fire's heat to the fields I've turned. The blade and bow, the forge and flame. I sharpen my skills, I play the game. Each day brings a challenge I must face. I train my hands with careful grace. From alchemy's art to the hunter's way, I'll find the strength to seize the day. Through trial and toil, I'll find my way. Learning more with each passing day. The skill of survival, the will to thrive. In a world where the strong survive, I face the night, I'll take the chance. I'm ready to